Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm talking about if I didn't buy vintage comic books, I would have lost everything. As many of you all know, these past few months I have sold most of my collection. I have 3 short boxes left of my once vast comic book collection. And I'm a few weeks out of it, couple months out of selling everything, and it's allowed me some time to reflect on what exactly happened. So, right off the bat, first thing, if I had not bought vintage comic books, specifically like Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, older Batman, I would have lost pretty much 75-80% of the money that I put into this, which is absolutely terrifying. As many of you all know that follow the channel, I went insane buying all of this stuff during the comic book boom. It was totally irresponsible, and it led me to have a lot of resentment towards the hobby. A lot of that resentment was just it's just a reflection of myself and how I felt towards it. It wasn't an indictment on others, but I took it out on a lot of other people. And I realize that now that a lot of it was just projection because I was angry at the decisions I had made. Looking back on this now, I really kind of got bailed out in a way where I was lucky enough to have bought certain things that, I bought certain things that I definitely did not like or had no attachment for, definitely no nostalgia, but I bought some things, thankfully, that I was able to recoup a lot of the money that I had spent on it. Now, I know a lot of you are sitting there saying, if I lose everything on my collection, I don't care. If they sell it for $1, at least I enjoyed it. And that's the right way to look at this. But how deep I was in financially with this, it was not good. I mean, we're talking like 40, 50, 60,000 at least. And that's including the statues and a lot of the CGC grading and all that. I mean, it was bad. And I think it was slowly wearing on me. I talked about in a previous video that every single book, every single box that came up out of my basement, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. Literally, it was like I was being unburdened by what has been burdened. That's a Kamala joke, but the thing is I didn't feel like I was enjoying I couldn't enjoy these comics because I felt like I had spent too much on them. And I know a lot of you all probably feel the same way, and a lot of you don't. Where if you spent something, if you bought something and you paid good money for it and you really liked it and you really wanted it, you don't feel those feelings. A lot of the books you see behind me, some of them I bought when they were out of print. Some of them, I bought and I read them, and they have sat up here for over 5 years. And I really am not like, ooh, I got to sell these. I got to get out from under the weight of it. I don't have that feeling about this. And that lets me know, kind of where I'm at with this stuff. I like it. I want to collect it. I want to have it. I want to reread it. There's been many of the things you see behind me that I've already read twice, and then other things that I plan on reading again. I got lucky. I definitely lost a good bit of money, but I got lucky that I didn't lose everything. And by selling a lot of my collection, it has kind of reinvigorated me with the hobby again. And it has kind of cleared my eyes into how I was projecting myself, how I was projecting myself to you guys, to the community, to the world through these videos. It was not a good look, and it was coming from a place of I felt shame. I felt like I I had been a poor steward of my money. Like I had hurt my family because I had spent that money on things that were not a good way of spending my money. So, a lot of those feelings, most of those feelings are now gone. I kind of look at it where that was something I learned from. I have done quite a bit of learning. The School of Hard Knocks is pretty much the only way that I have learned many things other than my schooling, as far as like things about life. Like I didn't think that I would feel this way. Like the more I work and the older I get, the harder, the more I realize how hard it is to make money and how much effort it takes. And, to just blow it on something so frivolously, it was irresponsible. So I'm thankful that so many of you all bought some things from me, and hopefully you bought things that you really wanted. And I think a lot of you did do that. A lot of the modern runs, I'm going to give you some examples like the Venom, the Donny Cates, Immortal Hulk run, the Mighty Thor run, the Daredevil run, the Chip Zdarsky, Ice Cream Man, Something is Killing the Children. A lot of those, my Star Wars stuff, like the Darth Vader runs, some of those did pretty well. Like the Something is Killing the Children, I appreciate the person that bought that. But a lot of the stuff that I had sold, I got a fraction of what I thought it would be. Now, thankfully, I didn't pay a whole lot for that, but I really thought that it would be more valuable. Like I thought that I would be able to get a better return on that, and it just didn't. The only things that really had a decent return, that really kind of got me out of the hole, were the vintage comics. And I'm talking like Bronze Age and before, really Silver Age. The Silver Age stuff, that stuff sold. That was the stuff that would instantly sell. It was the stuff that always got bids. It was the stuff that people always made offers on. It was the stuff that people had interest in every single time I posted anything. So I think from a collecting standpoint, the vintage stuff, if you're doing this and you have any interest whatsoever of selling it, or your family selling this one day, man, you have to buy the vintage stuff. That's the only thing people want, at least from my experience. I know a lot of the people at the cons and stuff, like there's like a big push for the variant covers and stuff. The problem with it is that to get it out there, to sell it, it's such a specific buyer. There are so many other people. There's so many variations of this stuff. With the vintage stuff, there's only one type of it. There's obviously newsstands, Mark Jeweler variants, stuff like that, like, error variants. But as far as like actual cover A, cover B, cover C, there's none of that with vintage. So it's streamlined. You narrow the buying market. And a lot of this, you all are probably like, well, duh, we all knew that. Well, I think a lot of people don't. And I think a lot of people are spending thinking that they're getting something that has real value, and they just aren't. So take it from me. Take it from somebody who took the hard knocks. The vintage stuff got me out of the hole. So I'm in a much better place. I'm happy. I've been reading more comics in these past few months than I have in a long time. So I think I'm in a much, much better place. I feel better making these videos. I don't feel that desire to be the antagonist, to be the person that's tearing it down. I regret feeling like that, and I regret expressing that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I appreciate you guys watching, and if at any point in time you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, subscribe for more. Take care.